Zippin Pippin is the best roller coaster on the planet in relation to the amount of money it costs to ride it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, to ride Zippin Pippin, you only have to pay $1. So if you want 10 rides on Zippin Pippin, your total is $10. That is including tax. What a time to be alive that we live in a country where even though there's crazy inflation, you can still ride an awesome roller coaster for $1. In this review, I'm going to discuss everything that you need to know about Zippin Pippin because actually there's more to this roller coaster than meets the eye. And I think many of you guys are already going to know what I'm talking about. Yes, there is a very specific moment of airtime on this ride that I will get to in a second. But first, let's get to the specifics. So Zippin Pippin is located at Bay Beach in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It is the only roller coaster in the area. If you are a roller coaster fanatic, this ride is kind of in the middle of nowhere. And because it's way up north, it's only open during a very specific time of year. Because it's in Wisconsin, it's right by one of the Great Lakes. Yeah, it gets cold there. This is the only roller coaster in the park. It's also the most expensive ride in the park. Most everything else there costs 25 cents or 50 cents, and this ride is a full $1. So when you go here, plan on getting multiple rides on this attraction. Now, this ride is also significant because it is a replica of the original Zippin Pippin at Libertyland, which is famous because that was Elvis Presley's favorite roller coaster. Libertyland was located in Memphis, Tennessee. It closed in 2005, and Bay Beach said, let's go ahead and take that ride and build it here. So they hired Gravity Group to do the design work, hired Martin and Vlemix to physically construct it, and that's what we have today. Now, this ride is fine and all. Why it was Elvis Presley's favorite roller coaster, I don't know. I think that there's definitely some better rides out there. But I will say, Elvis did have good taste in airtime. What you'll find on Zippin Pippin is a lot of really fun floater moments. This is essentially an out and back layout. It's these perfectly parabolic hills, one after another, and then there's one hill towards the end that tries to kill you. Not sure what happened there, but it's the best moment of the ride. So let's kind of walk through the experience of what happens when you go to ride Zippin Pippin. First of all, you go ahead, you get your tickets at this booth that is right near the attraction. You enter the line, you're going to give that ticket to someone right when you enter the station, and you board your train. This is a classic PTC train, very traditional for a wind roller coaster. I recommend either the front or the back. The front is fun, but I do think I prefer the back row on this. I think the airtime is just a little bit more pronounced, but honestly, both are good. You dispatch out of the station, take a right-hand turn, and you have a lift hill with a height of 70 feet. And it's actually a pretty nice view up there. Zippin Pippin is located literally right next to the water. So you look out, and yeah, it's pretty. I mean, as long as you keep your head looking to the right. When you look to the left, you see a parking lot, but if you look to the right, it really does look good. You hit the top and you have a flat right-hand turn and into your drop, which is a height of 63 feet. Your angle of descent, only about 50 degrees. It's a nice way of starting off the attraction. Naturally, if you're in the back, you're going to get some airtime there. If in the front, not so much. But if you are in the front, when you crest up into that turnaround, you do get a nice floater moment. And as soon as you hit that first turn, you slow back down, you have another scenic turnaround. And from here, this is where all the consecutive airtime hills come into play. There are 3 hills all in a row, leading into what is the back half of the attraction. Your first one is built into the side of the lift hill. Again, nothing too extreme. You don't really get any extreme moments on this ride except for towards the end. All of the hills give some very gradual floater. I wouldn't even say it's like the best floater airtime in the world. It's fine. I think it's enjoyable. But for the most part, 95% of this ride is not anything to shout at. It is a fine wind roller coaster with one crazy moment. So I'll just go ahead and fast forward to get to that moment. You hit the far side of the ride, you turn around, and now you have some low to the ground airtime hills. And actually your first airtime hill after that turnaround doesn't even really have any airtime. It's kind of banking to the left as you're going over it. At this point it has to line up with the rest of the layout, and so it's kind of a gradual slope into this bank. It kind of jolts you to the side as you go over it, and then it's a gradual downward slope, so there's no airtime over this little banked hill, and it's arguably the weakest hill on the ride right before the most extreme hill on the ride. You know how I was talking about how the hills on this ride are perfectly parabolic? That is not the case with this hill. I swear this hill is a flat out triangle because you hit the peak of that hill and boom, you are gonna get yeeted out of your seat. That's why it's good that you have a lap bar and a seatbelt, because you'll go flying at this hill. It is very sharp, it is very sudden, and as quick as it starts, it's already over. And it's just a fun juxtaposition because most of the ride is very calm, it's fine. And then you hit this one hill, and it's like, what the heck was that? How did that just happen? What? And then you go over one more hill and you hit the brake run, and like, seriously, I wish that we had gotten my first ride reaction on this thing on camera, because I was not expecting that hill at all. That single hill is one of the best airtime moments on any roller coaster. It's just very weird that the other hills are nothing like it. It's like Gravity Group was designing this normal ride, and then they're like, let's just throw in this one hill, just like, see what happens. I know a lot of people call it the ejector death hill. I think that's a very fitting name for it. So for that one hill, obviously I recommend this attraction. That being said, I think the rest of the ride was a little underwhelming to me, because I think going in, a lot of people are like, Zippin Pippin is a hidden gem. Like, it is so fabulous, you're gonna love it. And to an extent, I would say yes, Zippin Pippin is a hidden gem. But the rest of the ride just didn't quite deliver to me. I would almost compare it to Jackrabbit at Kennywood. You ride Jackrabbit for the double down, and the rest of Jackrabbit isn't that good. The rest of Zippin Pippin is fine, but you ride Zippin Pippin for the ejector death hill. So in that regard, it's a weird ride to review, because I would place it highly because that one hill. If it didn't have that one hill, it'd be getting a lot lower of a score. Again, not that it's anything bad, but without that hill, there would be nothing on Zippin Pippin that would really make it stand out. That hill is the standout moment of why you should go check out this attraction at some point. So for its final score, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. The ejector death hill gets a 10 out of 10, but because I have to review the whole roller coaster, I'll bring it down to an 8.5. I think bottom line, there's nothing inherently wrong with Zippin Pippin. It just happens to be an average wind roller coaster with one incredible moment. But I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think of Zippin Pippin? Do you agree with my thoughts? Is there anything that you think I missed? Anything that I should have mentioned? Let me know all that down in the comments below. And of course, stay tuned for more roller coaster reviews here at Coaster Studios, and we'll see you next time.